In this lecture, we are going to discuss different types of storage class in C programming. So already we know how to declare a variable and what is variable declaration. So in variable declaration, I have mentioned we can declare a variable in that way, that is integer a, for example. So what does it mean? This a is basically the variable representing the variable name. This is basically representing the variable name, and this int, it is representing the data type. Data type. Through data type, we can decide what kind of value this variable can store, and what is the amount of memory allocated for this particular variable. As it is integer, in case of 32-bit compiler, it will be 2 byte. Okay, and if it is a 64-byte compiler, in that case it may be 4 byte. So the size basically also depending on types of compiler, but it is fixed that the size of integer is either 2 byte or 4 byte depending on the compiler. So from the data type we can decide what kind of value is going to be assigned and what will be the memory allocated. Now here there is another thing that we have not mentioned, that is the storage class. Depending on the storage class, we can define the characteristics of the variable. Characteristics of the variable means that the memory will be allocated for this particular variable, but the memory will be allocated where? Memory will be allocated in my internal registers or to the memory, means random RAM, primary memory, where the memory will be allocated for this particular variable. Number one. Number two, if once I declare a variable, will the variable alive throughout the program, or can we access the variable? If I declare a variable in a part of a program, can I access the variable from anywhere into the program? So these questions we can solve, or the answer of the question is basically in the storage class. If we analyze the storage class, from there we will get the answer. So in C programming, basically here we have 4 types of storage class. We will discuss one by one. Number one storage class is automatic storage class. Automatic storage class. For automatic storage class, basically we use the term auto. We use the term keyword auto, where A obviously should be, nothing should be in uppercase. We use auto. So now if I write a variable like this, auto int A, it means that A is a variable of integer type and its storage class is auto. Okay, so this keyword auto is basically representing what type of storage class this variable has, what types of storage class this variable has. And now in C programming you can ask that already we have declared a variable like this. So is it wrong? Declaration of a variable like this where storage class is not mentioned, is it wrong? No. If we are not mentioning any storage class in a particular variable, then by default it will be automatic storage class. So automatic is default storage class. So here in this both the example, if you write the storage class before the data type, then it is automatic storage class because we have used the auto keyword. And if you are not writing or if you are not mentioning any particular storage class for a variable, that is also right, where automatic storage class will be by default applicable for that variable. Okay. Now what this automatic storage class is and or what effect we will get due to this, that I will show. So this is the main program. Right? Now if I declare a variable auto in x equal to 1. Okay, so I have taken x as a variable whose data type is auto, and here I print the value of x. Print the value of x. Now, if we execute this program, in the output screen we will get 1 as the output. So what will happen? We have assigned 1 to x variable, and after that if I print the value, I will get 1 as the output, which is the value of x. Now, if I declare another variable with the same name here, and here I assign the value of x is equals to 10. And again I print the value of x. So now if I execute the program, what will happen? Is it possible? The first question, is it possible? Can we declare two variables with the same name in the same program? It is possible if the scope, or if the declaration where we are declaring it is a separate block, then it is possible. Separate block means if you see that this x variable we have declared is in this block, and this x variable we have declared in this block. Okay. So there is a sub block inside the program. Inside the block there is a sub block is there. So this variable we have declared inside this. Now if I execute this program, due to this statement we will get 1 as output, and due to this statement what we will get? 10 as output, because the variable x is 10. So up to this is right. Here we have assigned 1 to x, that's why we are getting the value of x is equal to 1. Here we have assigned 10 into x, that's why we are again getting the value of x equal to 10. Now the question is, here before we terminate the program, if I print the value of x again if I print the value of x, now what output we will get due to this x variable? That is the question. Will it be 1 or will it be a 10? Because once we have assigned 1 into the x variable, then we have assigned 10 into this x variable. If we are not mentioning this, if there is no, I am coming to that later. Okay. Now what is the value of this x variable? The value of this x variable will be 1. That means this x variable will hold the value of this. Okay? Value of this. So this x variable will not affect this x variable, though the variable name is same. So that is about the automatic storage class. So what basically happening in this program, why we are getting 1 here and 10 here? It is saying that if we declare as a variable, as a automatic variable or automatic storage class, then that variable will be available, or the scope of the variable will be only inside the block where we have declared it. It will be available only inside that block where we have declared it. That means this x variable we have declared, inside this block. Okay, this parenthesis is basically representing a block. So this x variable we have declared inside this block. That's why this x variable is alive only within this block. If we get out of this block, this x variable is no more alive. This x variable is not accessible. You cannot access this x variable outside of this. Okay. So if I get out of this, now here, if I again print the x, so it will affect this x, because this x variable we have declared within this scope. So this x variable is available here, here and here. Okay, so that is automatic storage class. If I represent the same thing in some other way, if I consider this is my main program, if I consider this is a main program, okay, and here in main we have declared the variable x and y. We have declared the variable x and y. Now inside that we have a sub block that we can create a sub block by using the parenthesis. Now inside this sub block again we have declared another variable x. Again we have declared another variable x. So from this what I want to say is this x variable is available only inside this block, where we have declared it. So this x variable we have declared in this block, so it is available only within this block. But this x variable which we have declared within main, so this is my opening of main and this is my closing of main. So this variable will be available throughout the main function. That means this variable you can access from here also. This variable we can access from the sub block also. But if we declare a variable with the same name inside the sub block, then that variable will get the priority. What I want to mean to say is that in main we have a x variable, okay, that is 1 for example. Now within the sub block, if I write x plus plus, then this x variable will perform operation on this x, because this x and this x is same, we have not declared here. But if I declare another x variable here, that is integer x, now this operation will be performed on this x variable. Okay, that I am saying that until and unless we are declaring any variable within the sub block, if we are not declaring any variable within the sub block and we access the variable, it will perform the operation on this, because this x variable is available throughout the main. This x variable will remain available throughout the main function. But now if I declare a variable with the same name inside the sub block, then this variable will get the priority. So this operation will be performed on this x. Now this x will not be performed. So that is all about the automatic storage class. So from here in a summary about the automatic storage class, or we can say, if we declare a variable as automatic, the variable will be stored into the RAM. And the scope, whenever we declare a particular variable, the variable will be available only inside the block. If I say that this is my function 1, this is function 1, here we have a variable integer x, this is my function 2, here we can again use the variable with the same name, this is main, here also we can use a variable with the same name. So in the same program we are using 3 variables with the same name, x, x and x. But these 3 variables are separate. This x variable will be available only within this main. This x variable will be available only within this main. This x is available only within this function 2, and this x is available only within this function 1. From this function you cannot access this x variable. From this function you cannot access this x variable, because this is the rule of the automatic storage class. If we declare a variable within a block, that variable will be available within that block only. Okay, and here we create the variable. As soon as the function ends, the variable will be destroyed. That particular variable will be destroyed. So here this variable will be created, and when you get out of function 1, this x variable will be destroyed. When you get out of this function, this x variable will be destroyed. And when you get out of this X variable will be destroyed. Okay. That is automatic storage class, and these variables are also called local variable. These variables are also called local variable. That means this X is local to function 2. This X is local to main. This X is local to function 1. As we can compare it with from the when as the term local comes, as we know there are some local transportation we use, that a term that is local transportation. So what local transportation is? Local transportation means if this is an area, so this is a sub area, this is another sub area, this is another sub area. Okay, for example, this is Kolkata, this is Delhi, this is Mumbai. Okay, so these are three different sub areas. Now it may happen in Kolkata we have a local transport. For example, there is a bus, and the bus route number is 2B. For example, in Delhi we have its own local bus whose route number is also 2B. In Mumbai, it has another local bus whose route number is also 2B. So you can see all the three buses has the same route number 2B, 2B and 2B. But these three buses are not same. These three buses are not same. Though their route number is same, these buses are not same. So this 2B is local to Kolkata only. This bus is local to Kolkata only. So if we are inside Kolkata, if we are at Kolkata and talking about the route number 2B, that means we are not meaning this 2B or this 2B. Always standing inside the Kolkata, if we want to avail a local transport of 2B, we will avail this bus. Now if you come to Delhi and if you avail to a local transport which is 2B, then obviously you will avail this local transport. From Delhi you cannot avail this local transport, from Delhi you cannot avail this local transport. So that's why these variables are called local. A variable, if we declare a variable within a block, that variable can be accessed only within this block. If you get out of that block, then that variable will be destroyed. The variable cannot be accessed. That I am showing here. Here, if you get out of Delhi, this variable you cannot access. This transport you cannot access. If you want to access this transport, then it will be local to that particular city. That will not be similar to the previous transportation. That will be local to. It may be these two Bs, it may be a AC bus, it may be a non-AC bus. Characteristics are different. Okay, though the name is same, so that means these two are not same, though the route number is same. So that is local variable or automatic storage class. Number 2, the second storage class is register storage class. Register storage class. So register storage class, if we declare a variable by using the keyword, if I write only integer a, so by default this storage class will be automatic storage class, and this a variable will be stored into RAM. This a variable will be stored into RAM. Now if I just write the keyword register, then what will happen? This variable, for this variable, this is RAM. Okay. From here, this is my CPU. These are internal registers of the CPU. So the value will be stored into the internal registers. From here it will be transferred to the internal registers of the CPU. So register storage class and automatic storage class, everything is same. if we declare a variable as a register storage class, then this variable will also be accessible from only within that block where we have declared it. Similar to automatic. If I declare a variable within main, so that variable will be available within main only. If you declare a variable within function 1, that variable can be accessed only within function 1. So that is also applicable for register variable also. So only difference between the automatic storage class and between the register storage class is the location where it is getting stored. If it is automatic, then that variable will be stored into the RAM, and if it is a register storage class, then that variable will get stored into the internal registers of the CPU, not into the RAM. It will get stored into the internal registers of the CPU. Now the question is, if there is no difference, then why we are using this register storage class? And what advantage of this? That if we store a variable in a internal register of the CPU, what is the advantage of this? The advantage is, if I write a program in such a way that A is a variable, first I declare, okay. Now I write A equals to 10, then I write B equals to A plus plus, then I write A equals to A plus 5, okay, then X equal to A minus B, and so on. So in that way, this is a series of statements. So from this series of statement, you can see this variable A, the variable A, we are accessing very frequently. So this is a frequently used variable. This is a very frequently used variable, right? A. Here you can see in every statement we have used this A variable, right? Now, when we get or we can identify a variable which is very frequently used, we try to store that variable in internal register. So what I will do, I will convert this A variable as register storage class. Whenever a variable we are accessing very frequently, we try to convert or we try to use register storage class for that particular variable. That I have done here. A, which is a very frequently used variable, I have used register storage class for this variable. Now why I have used this variable as a register storage class? Because we all know that registers are faster than the main memory. Registers are faster than RAM. So if the variable A, if this is my RAM and this memory is allocated for this particular program where we have the A variable, now due to this operation we have to access this A variable to assign the value into A. Then again B equal to A plus plus, so again we have to access the A variable. A equals to A plus 5, again we have to access the A variable for read and write operation. Here A minus B, again we have to access the A variable. So here you can see, every time we access the A variable from the RAM. But how it get access? This is our CPU, and there we have these internal registers are there. Different internal registers are there. These are the series of internal registers. Now access means basically from the RAM, this variable will come to internal registers of the CPU. Then we can perform operation on this variable. Then we perform the operation on this variable. Okay. Every time when we assign the value, we have to take the value from the RAM to CPU. Then we perform the operation. Again, if we perform B equal to A plus plus, so due to this increment, again we have to fetch the value from the RAM and save into the CPU. Then we can perform the operation on this. So it is the variable that we are very frequently using. And for that variable, repeatedly we are performing the same task, accessing from the RAM, taking it to the internal register, then performing the operation. It will take a lot of time. So what we can do, instead of storing the data into the RAM, if we can store the data in the register, by using the register storage class. So when it is register storage class, this variable will be directly stored into the internal register of the CPU. that will not be stored into the RAM. Directly now it is in CPU. Now if I perform all of this operation, this value of A will be fetched from this internal register. The value of A will be fetched from the internal register. So we need not to read the RAM for this particular variable. We need not to transfer the value from the RAM to register to perform the operation. So that means it will save time. It will save time. And the access time for the register is less than the access time of the RAM, or you can say the register is faster than the RAM. So if we perform any operation on a faster memory, then obviously the execution time will less and the performance of the program will increase. So that's why we use the register storage class, but the number of register in the CPU is limited. So we cannot store a huge number of variable into the register. That is also not possible because number of register is limited. That is very small. As the RAM is the memory available into the RAM is very high, but the memory available due to this internal register is very less. So here we cannot store all the variables. That you can see this B or C, this B variable or this X variable I have not taken as a register storage class, because this B variable or X variable we are not using very frequently. This B and X we are not using very frequently. So let them be into the RAM, no problem. Let them be into the RAM. Okay. But this A variable which we are accessing very frequently, that I will store into the register only to increase the performance. Okay. So whatever variable is there into the program, never try to convert all the variables into register storage class, because number of register is limited. But the variable which is very frequently used, you can take it as a register storage class to get better performance.
So in this program we will see automatic storage class or local variable. So I have considered a very simple program, and already we have discussed that in case of local variable or automatic storage class, these variables we define inside the function. So as you can see, this X variable I have declared inside main. So this X variable is local to main. Now by default the storage class for this is automatic storage class, or if I write auto keyword here, then also it is representing automatic storage class. So by writing this auto keyword we can say that this variable storage class is automatic storage class. And if I write only integer X, so by default the storage class will be automatic storage class. Okay. So as we are discussing automatic storage class, so I am mentioning auto here. So as you can see here, we have written X equals to 10. Okay. Now let me first show you, if I am not assigning any value, I am coming to that part later. Okay. So if I run, let me show you what happens, what output we are getting. So we are getting a value like this. Okay. So whenever we are declaring a variable in automatic storage class, the default value is unpredictable, or you can see it is also a garbage value, and the default value is until and unless we are assigning any value, meaningful value to that variable, it will hold some unpredictable value or some garbage value. Now if I assign value here, I write X equals to 10. So now I have assigned the value. So this is my printf statement that will print the value of X here. Then I perform X plus plus operation. Okay. So the value of X, due to this, the value of X is equals to 11. It should be 11 because the previous value of X is 10. If I perform increment operation, the value of X will be 11. Now if you see here, I have created another block. Okay. and inside the block again I have taken a variable x. Again I have taken a variable x, and the value I have assigned into x is 100. Then I perform the decrement operation, and inside this block I print the value of x, okay, and outside the box again I print the value of x. Now basically from this I just want to show you that due to this printf and due to this printf, what value we are getting for x is same or not. So as you can see, due to this printf we are getting 10, that is the value of x. Then the value of x becomes 11. After that, when we insert into the block, we write x equals to 100. That means the previous value of x, which is equals to 11, get replaced by the new value 100. Okay, and if I perform decrement operation, then due to this printf we are getting 99, because after 100 one decrement it will become 99. And when we get out of this block and print, again it is 99. That means the previous value of x, that is 10, the previous value of x, that is 10, which was incremented to 1, that value we have lost. That value we have lost. Whenever we are inserting any value to that particular variable, the previous value will be replaced by the new value, and the previous value we are never getting back. That I am showing here. That's why due to this printf statement we are getting this. Or in other words, we can say the variable x that we have declared here, and throughout the program we are using the same x variable. Throughout the program we are using the same x variable. Here we are printing the value of x, we are performing increment, again we are assigning value. So all these x variables are same. Okay. Now let me make a very simple change into this. What I do, inside the block this x, let me again declare it as a auto variable. So now I have declared it as a auto variable x equal to 100. So here the value of x should be 99. Okay. So here the value of x is 11. Again I have taken this. Now is it possible that in a same program main, so this is the same program, within the same program can we declare a variable with the same name? Yes, it is possible. As we have declared this variable, if I avoid this block, then it is not possible. If you now compile that, you can see we are getting an error here. The error, we are getting an error because we have declared two variables with the same name inside the same scope. This parenthesis is basically representing the scope. So within the same scope we have declared two variables with the same name. So that is not possible. That's why we are getting an error. And whenever we are giving a parenthesis here, okay, so now this x we have within this scope, as you can see, this scope, within the scope of main. But this x variable, if I click here, you can see this x variable I have declared within separate scope, within same. So now it is right. If I compile, you can see we will not get any error due to this. Okay, directly we are going to the output. Right. Now if I explain this output, so here the value of x is 10. That's right. Now due to this printf statement, at, you can see at 10, the printf statement that we are writing here, due to this printf we are getting 99. That means it is printing the value of this x variable. Now after getting out of this scope, whenever we are printing the value of x, what we are getting is 11. That means it is representing the previous x. So inside this block 7 to 11, inside the blocks number 7 to 11 instruction. So inside the small block, whatever value of x we are accessing, whatever value of x we are printing, that is this x variable, which is equals to 100. Then after the decrement, that becomes 99. But as soon as we get out of the block and we are again writing x, it is not representing the same x, it is representing the previous x now. That means it is very much clear from this program that these two x variable, though their name is same, but their existence is completely different. That's why here we are getting the value of this x variable separately, and here we are getting the value of x variable separately. Now if I show you another thing, that let me just make it, so here we have the x variable, here we have another x variable. Now here I print, instead of value, here I print the address of x. Let's see what happens. So you can see two different address we are getting. So for this x variable which is inside the block, for this x variable the address is 68, and for this x variable which is outside of the smaller block inside the main, we are getting 72 at the end. So from this it becomes much more clear that the address, the memory location for these two x variable are separate, and as the memory location is separate, that means these two variable is existing separately. That is the local variable. So the local variables we have to declare within a specific block, within a specific scope, and that variable exists only within that scope. Whenever we get out of the scope, that variable is no more existing. As I have shown, here we are getting 99, but as soon as we get out of the scope, we are not getting the value of that variable. That I can as you can see, here we are getting the error. What error we are getting is, you can see that x undeclared. As you can see, x is undeclared. So as we have declared the x variable within this scope, so that's why this x variable is only existing within this scope. Now we are trying to print the value or the address of x, whatever it is, the value or address of x outside of this block, outside of this scope. It is saying that the variable is undeclared. That means this x here, the variable x is not at all existing. So the variable x is only existing within the scope where it has been declared. As soon as we get out of the scope, the variable is no more existing. So that is all about the local variable, that is or you can say automatic storage class.